Making moves, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan, fresh out the shower. I hope you're doing well. I really do hope that Chelsea are getting business done. The transfer window is open. Chelsea have put everyone up for sale, and shock moves and exclusives are popping off as we thought they would be. Maybe not this early in the transfer window, but here we go, and I'm here to deliver all the news to you, my dear sweet viewer, listener, and hopefully subscriber. Do consider subscribing if you want to. Hit the bell, because obviously the transfer window, lots and lots will be happening with Chelsea. I'll be hopefully the first to give you the information, and if you want to be the first to hear said information, do subscribe and hit the bell. Thank you for liking the video. Right, if you just a quick update from the previous upload, if you're yet to watch that, about Mason Mount going to Man United and Mateo Kovacic going to Manchester City, I urge you to go watch this morning's upload. It gives you information on that, how I feel about both players going to both respective clubs. So I just gently waft you in the direction of that video if you are yet to watch it. In the meantime, an exclusive from the Evening Standard by Dom Smith. Inter Milan are pushing to sign Trevoh Chalobah ahead of Mauricio Pochettino's decision. This is really, really interesting. A lot of people were wondering what's going to happen with Trevoh Chalobah. He hasn't done much wrong for Chelsea. 23 years old, Cobham graduate. Of course, he's another one of these pure profit players. Great alliteration there, that the ownership can use to balance the books. And of course, we still want to spend a lot of money in signing three major positions: striker, midfielder, and possibly more than one midfielder, by the way, which we'll talk about shortly. And of course, a goalkeeper. I'm going to talk about a striker and a midfielder after this article. So yeah, lots popping off. Let's read what this chap is saying. So Inter Milan are pushing hard to sign Chelsea centre-back Trevoh Chalobah. The 23-year-old joined Chelsea back in 2007, where he graduated through the academy and has been a first-team player for Chelsea ever since the 21-22 season. Of course, for Thomas Tuchel bringing him through. Oh no, while he played in every match. Sorry. It was Thomas Tuchel brought him through. He played like the Super Cup, if memory serves. Anyway, while he played every match during Frank Lampard's spell as caretaker manager, he was used more sporadically throughout the course of the whole season. Of course, Tuchel oddly just sort of froze him out after bringing him in when he didn't do much wrong, and Potter didn't really fancy him. But the Standard Sport understands that Inter are accelerating their efforts to sign the centre-backs and are in communication with Chalobah's camp on a daily basis. There is a fear that all these academy boys are quite comfortably jumping ship. Maybe they're just being pushed out. Look, man, if you said to me, what Cobham graduates would you definitely want to stay? I would say Mason Mount, but you all know my opinion on that. It does look like he's going. Again, if you want more detail, go watch my previous upload. I would say Levi Colwill. I think he's going to be excellent. It looks like we will keep him. Of course, I will say Reece James. And, and maybe like Lewis Hall at the moment, so Ruben's going to Milan, it looks like, and to join another academy product in Fikayo Tomori, and it does look like Trevoh Chalobah could go to the other side of the San Siro, to Internazionale. Yes, wow. Okay, so it remains to be seen whether the incoming manager Pochettino wants Chalobah to be part of the project in West London, but it's understood Chalobah is desperate to be playing regular football with an eye on England's Euros 2024. Well, mate, if you go to Italy, I'm not sure Southgate's going to look at you much, because Fikayo Tomori literally won the Scudetto out there and didn't get a sniff under Southgate. So yeah, it's tough. Chalobah, who's yet to be called up, he hasn't been called up. Yeah, that is a farce, bro. He's valued by Chelsea around 25 million, which is a fee Inter would be willing to part with. Yeah, I bet, because they've probably seen this guy play. They've probably scouted him, certainly playing for Thomas Tuchel. Maybe they want to play back three and they've seen him play really, really, really well in the back three. They've seen the success of Fikayo Tomori, same academy, etc., young player, and they're probably like, yeah, a Cobham graduate for £25 million, yes please. And although it's a bargain and that might frustrate Chelsea fans, again, it's pure profit on the books, which is massive for Chelsea. And obviously, alleviating themselves of wages. The Champions League finalists will play over back. Play over back three. Are hoping to freshen up the age of their defence. Darmian's 33. Serbi's 30. Or Kirby. Is this Serbi? 35. And they're in the autumn of their careers. Yeah. Well, I'd say winter, but then again, Thiago Silva. Inter see Chalobah as an ideal part of their style of play and are eager to discover whether Pochettino wants to use him. Chalobah signed a new contract. Maybe we can get more than 25 million. Before we move on, let's talk about this. We are going to be in contact with Inter Milan for what's going on. Look at this. What's going on with Romelu Lukaku, of course. Whether we can get him out for another loan. Whether we can squeeze some more money out of them in a sale. It's good to keep these lines of communication open. And, of course, Chelsea have been linked with Inter striker Lautaro Martinez, which again is a weird love triangle of him and Lukaku if he ends up coming to Chelsea and Lukaku stays at Inter. That would be a peculiar set of circumstances. But this is good. I love Trevor Chalobah. If he stays, I've got no issue. But we need to make money. On that right-hand side, I am having Wesley Fofana all ruddy day long. He's that right-sided centre-back. Of course, we've got Benoit Badiashile and Levi Colwill. There are reports suggesting that Levi will stay at Chelsea, but he wants to start. And if he wants to start, then maybe he starts on the left side. There's been reports suggesting that Chelsea are not opposed to playing two left-footed centre-backs. You usually get two right-footed centre-backs, but generally on the right you want a right-footer, and on the left, ideally you want a left-footer, but often you do get two right-footers. And they're not necessarily opposed to playing two left-footers, which would mean Benoit Badiashile and Levi Colwill. Trust me, it's not a bad thing for Colwill to be starting for Chelsea and being coached by Mauricio Pochettino. You've only got to look at what he did to Toby Alderweireld and Jan Vertonghen. So, young, talented centre-backs, he will make them better. Personally, I would have Wes Fofana on the right, and I'd have Levi and Badiashile fighting on the left-hand side. But then again, Levi could be the starter on the left, Wes could be the starter on the right, and Badiashile could easily just come in for whoever's out, essentially. This is a possibility. And, at the end of the day, we've still got Thiago Silva. He could be the fourth choice. Do you know what I mean? So you could have four go into two often, don't they? So you could have Thiago, Wes, Badiashile, and Levi. And which would mean you sell Trevor Chalobah, pure profit, and hopefully we can find a way to sell Kalidou Koulibaly. And, if we're ever in a pinch, I'm sure there's an academy centre-back that could come through, which, Pochettino certainly wouldn't be opposed to. Right, let's move on. So, more sales. Obviously, keep it locked. We're going to talk about midfielders and strikers now, but sales are going to be popping off a lot. Chelsea want to have all their sales done by July, so make sure you, like I say, you sub and hit the bell when you do subscribe. You hit the bell because I really want to get you guys all locked in. Okay, so Fabrizio Romano has said on CBS, in the next days, Chelsea will try and attack the situation with Moises Caicedo. Of course, this is another Brighton player. We have Cucurella, PTSD. By the way, another player that could technically play centre-back. And it will cost a lot of money. Caicedo, of course, is wanted by Arsenal, but we're going to talk about a striker in a moment that's wanted by Arsenal. Caicedo is an amazing player. He is a player that would suit the profile that we need. He'd look very, very good next to Enzo Fernandez. It would be funny if we could sign him and gazump Arsenal in that sense. But let's be honest, it does look like Arsenal are going to get everybody's first choice in Declan Rice. So that will probably, because that will cost them a lot of money. Caicedo will cost a lot of money. But with all these sales, Chelsea might be in a position to spend a lot of money on a central midfielder. Of course, we might still get Ugarte. Apparently, I've spoke about him, I think, in this morning's video. We've increased our wage offer a little bit. Ugarte wants to join Chelsea over PSG, provided he gets paid enough, because PSG have got paying more than double our initial offer. I don't think we need to match PSG's wage packet, but I think we need to do a little bit better. Chelsea could sign two new top-tier, high-profile central midfielders. One being Manuel Ugarte from Liga NOS, and of course our best mates Brighton. Maybe we can get Moises Caicedo over the line. It's already been confirmed by De Zerbi he will leave this summer, but to where, I don't know. Maybe if Arsenal do buy Declan Rice, that puts us in a stronger position to not overspend in Moises Caicedo and not have a bidding war. You could, touch wood. They originally wanted like 70, 80 million, but maybe Chelsea, there's a deal to be done for closer to 60. He's a great player. It will sting because it's yet another player Brighton spent 5 million on 2 years ago, and now they're selling him for silly money. It's sort of Enzo Fernandez situation all over again. But he's ultimately a very, very good player, playing well in the Premier League. But then again, Cucurella won Player of the Season the season before last. So there's that. But let me know what you think. Chelsea are going to attack the situation in the coming days for Moises Caicedo, so saith Fabrizio Romano. Right, we are not talking about a goalkeeper today, but we will very soon, so keep it locked. But we are, after speaking about Caicedo, going to talk about a striker that I'd never really heard of. Chelsea, of course, will buy a striker. Lukaku won't come back, and we'll look for a striker, whether it's, I would have quite liked Ivan Toney, but with all the controversy, that looks like it will be difficult. Lautaro Martinez was mentioned. I think more likely is Dusan Vlahovic, once of Fiorentina, the Serbian that now plays for Juventus, who no longer have qualified for the Champions League due to their point sanction. So therefore, they might need to generate a little bit more revenue. United are trying to buy a striker. They're favourites for Harry Kane. Mate, if Eric Ten Hag signs both Mason Mount and Harry Kane, what a window that is for Manchester United in terms of what they've got. Mount, they can play a 4-2-3-1. Bruno Fernandes can play number 10, and Mason Mount can play as the advanced 8 on front of Casemiro. And then have Harry Kane right at the top. Casemiro, Mount, Fernandes, Harry Kane. Wow. Anyway, screw those guys. Chelsea will need a striker, so Bayern Munich won't be able to afford Harry Kane. He'll probably go to Man United because he wants to keep breaking the Premier League scoring record. Bayern Munich, I think, maybe are favourites for Victor Osimhen if they can afford him. Chelsea are probably still looking at him, but we're looking at cheaper alternatives as well. And the striker that has been mentioned today by Calcio Mercato is Eli Wahi. I don't know if I've pronounced that right. The Montpellier striker. He's a French international. He's 20 years old. I imagine he's featured for the France under-21s. He's played for Montpellier, which isn't the biggest side in Ligue 1. And despite that, he has scored a lot of goals. So in 2,400 minutes playing for Montpellier, he scored 17 league goals and registered 5 assists to boot with that. So that is 23 league goal involvements in 2,400 minutes playing for Montpellier. Now, the fact that he's 20 years old suits the profile. He's about the same age as Armando Broja. This could be an interesting option because it could be two young strikers in Broja and Wahi going at it, being coached by Maurizio Pochettino. Now, is that the solution? I'm not so sure. Maybe we've spoken about the idea of having a more senior striker come in to bridge the gap while we develop Armando Broja. Maybe that seems more like appropriate. I'm not sure, but it's been rumoured by Calcio Mercato, so I wanted to reference it here today in Chelsea's news video. In the Chelsea news video. Lots popping off. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. Trevor Chalobah to Inter Milan. How much would you sell him for? To join Ruben out the door, Kovacic out the door, probably Mount as well. What do you think of Moises Caicedo? And what do you think of Wahi as a striker? Be very interesting. He plays as an attacking midfielder on the left as well, but we've got enough left forwards with Sterling, with Mudryk, with Nkuku, who likes to run in that channel as well. So I'm really keen to read your comments. Thank you for joining me. Keep it locked. Turn the bell on when you subscribe. That was loud. Peace.